Hey, good. Just wanted to start, Frank. Could you describe what the game atmosphere has been like for you? How the players are responding, the guys on your bench, how that might have contrasted to some of the other action that you're watching, and just your observations from being there.
You mean as opposed to when we have fans?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, our bench all year has been really energized and vocal and a big part of the game. Even when the starters are out, they're encouraging the young guys. Part of the togetherness atmosphere we want to create, and we've been really good with that throughout most of the year. And it's needed now more than ever with the unique environment that we're in without the fans, where we have to generate our own energy.
And then, Frank, has your kind of 24-hour day returned to what it's like in the regular season when it's just film from that game? If you get a chance from the next opponent, are you basically back to being kind of consumed like a head coach typically is by basketball?
It's the best way to put it. Round the clock, consumed. The game you just played, all the cleanups, corrections, ways you can get better, ideas of things you can do, and then obviously you turn the page to the next opponent and studying them inside and out. And I'm definitely in that grind right now for sure.
Hey Frank, it's Dave. The Bucks rested some of their guys in the second half against Brooklyn today and ended up getting upset. I'm just curious how you plan, if at all, to rest your bigger guys in these final 5 games for the playoffs.
Yeah, we haven't made any final decisions on that. The plan right now is to play those guys, and we still have a lot of areas to continue to improve before we feel like we're ready to win games in the playoffs and to be at the level that we want to reach. So for us, we're still in habit building mode, and continuing to just iron some things out that we're not quite where we were, in my opinion, when the hiatus hit. And so our mindset is to continue to play our guys and to get there.
Hey Frank, it's Bill. The original timeline for Rondo was 6 to 8 weeks. He's probably, I guess, would be about halfway through the most optimistic end of that. Is there a plan for him rejoining you guys, and will he continue his rehab in the bubble, or when would you expect to see him there?
Yeah, he's definitely going to come back into the bubble very soon. I think he's making, I'm not sure the exact details of it, but I think he's making his way to Florida tomorrow, and will spend a certain period of time outside of the bubble before he's reintegrated inside the bubble.
Allie?
Just to double check, so even though it's a back-to-back, your plan is to play the guys, your starters?
Yes.
On Dion, I mean, obviously his offensive game translates pretty much in any scheme, it seems like. But on defense, where are some of the areas where you guys are still trying to fill in the gaps?
Just familiarity with his teammates and with our system. His basketball instincts are so strong that he's really been productive for us. So it really just comes down to knowing his teammates, where they're going to be on the floor when he has the basketball, the types of actions that we're going to put him in, and then just all the different coverages that you see from game to game, are always a little bit unique and different based on the other team's offense. So he's just getting up to speed with some of those things.
Tanya, do you have any?
Yep.
Good. All right. I guess we're all set. Tanisha, unless you have anybody?
I do have
Okay.
people.
Go ahead.
BT?
Thank you. Hey, Frank, this is Brad here in LA.
What's up, Brad?
How far away do you think Dion is away from his peak play?
How far? Who? Dion?
Dion, yeah. How far away is he from being that peak player you guys have seen over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's still a ways away. I think our whole group is not shooting the ball that well from the perimeter. I think that's going to continue to come as he gets his legs under him. And, like I said, continuing to gain familiarity with our defensive scheme, our offensive system, and the communication and familiarity with his teammates, those things still have a ways to go. But, I think the ceiling's pretty high for what he can do for us. And, but we're excited about what he's done so far, too.
Hey, Frank, I'm curious. You guys have now been in the bubble for about 3.5 weeks, and before you guys went in there, there's a lot of talk around how one of the most important things of all of this is going to be the mental aspect. I'm curious now with a big chunk of time there, how that's going, how are different guys responding, and how has your job sort of changed with managing all of that?
Yeah, it's difficult being away from our families this long, and I've heard a couple of guys talking about it. I know I personally am feeling it. Just miss my wife and my daughters and being home. Obviously you spend a lot of time on FaceTime, and I know our guys are feeling that some as well. But we're doing okay, and like one of the other questions asked earlier, we're really in the grind right now. Where there's a lot of work to be done. Practice every day, game every other day. There's a lot of preparation that goes into all that stuff. So, our minds are being occupied with that. One of the more challenging things I think might be just the timing that we're facing, because we're playing in 9 o'clock games a lot of times, and those games get over sometimes after midnight local time. And that's been a little bit of a challenge. We have an evening practice tonight, which is unique and unusual. So just adjusting to some of those things is a little bit unique and challenging. But like I said, we're all doing fine with it.
Last two questions, Anthony Slater.
Yeah, Coach, your starters are minus 21 in 34 minutes. What do you think's been the issue starting halves for that unit?
Well, we're just not shooting the ball that well. That's a big part of it. I think they're just struggling to get into a rhythm early. I've been challenging them to play with more offensive pace. And, if we do that, I think we can get better shots on the offensive end, get a chance to set our defense. And, that unit, has been a really strong defensive unit for us throughout the year. So, I think it's just a matter of time.
Last question, Gil.
Hey, Frank, follow up on the Rondo question. Maybe this is obvious and I'm just not connecting the dots, but what's the value of having him come be outside the bubble for a while? Does that shorten his is there something you can do to shorten his quarantine time when he's
to be honest, Bill, I'm not exactly sure. I just know there's they're dealing with the league office in terms of what the protocols are for reentry. And, it's really something that our front office is handling more than I know all the details about.